this. Okay, there we go. KZRVH here.
Okay, there we go.
Beginning the Monday night
KZRVH here.
system-wide
We'll be
net
beginning
here
the
in
Monday
just about
night
another
system-wide
6
net here in just about another
This is
6
KZRVH.
minutes.
Will also be
This is
live
KZRVH. Will
streaming
also
on
be
YouTube.
live streaming on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm going to have to make sure I mute the microphone. This is KZRVH, just testing this side of it. KZRVH. All right. Good evening, everyone. This is Jack KZRVH.
All right. Good evening, everyone. This is Jack KZRVH. We're going to. We had somebody who was keying up on the YSF reflector system, and we're trying to get that reset. The YouTube stream live will be on also in just about another 4 minutes or so from the KZRVH ham shack here. If you're monitoring on the radio and you'd like to watch the YouTube stream, you can also get into that by going to the SkyHubLink.com website and going to the Nets page, and then scroll down for the Monday Night Net. And we'll try to get things started. W0KPH, can you copy me on Radio Now, Cat K0V?
W0 PPH. Good copy. Yeah, good copy. Good copy. Seems to have cleared up. Seems to have cleared up.
Okay, yeah, the N9KIW.
Okay, yeah, the N9KIW somewhere in Pennsylvania. You are locking up the system with S.
And once again, we'll get started
here And once again, we'll get started here with the net in just about 3 minutes. This is KE0VH.
KE0VH, this is KI0AR calling.
All right. Good evening, everyone. This is Jack.
All right. Good evening, everyone. This is Jack, K0VH in Wheat Ridge, Colorado. It's 7 o'clock. Time for the SkyHubLink Monday Night System-Wide Net. We have this net here every Monday night to discuss amateur radio and other interesting topics. SkyHubLink is not a closed system in any way. We welcome any and all users in the true spirit of amateur radio. Please remember during all use of this multi-mode linking system, please allow 3 to 5 seconds between transmissions. And then about a second and a half for tee up and then begin speaking. Also keep that PTT push to half second or so after your last word. When more than 2 people are using the repeaters, please set up a rotation so that you won't be doubling over other parties in the round table. And remember now, you're on many repeaters simultaneously, different nodes as well. Good amateur operating practice is remembering that others may need to use one of the many repeaters on the system during your QSO or join in on your topic. Once again, we are streaming tonight on YouTube, and we're doing it a little bit differently with some actual YouTube software and some studio software there, and we're going to try to do some really neat things tonight, so I hope you'll enjoy it. If you could get the opportunity and want to actually watch the live stream on YouTube, you can go to our website, SkyHubLink.com, which we're going to look at in depth and in detail tonight on the YouTube stream, so you can follow along on the radio or whatever the case may be. I am only going to take check-ins when I take check-ins via radio. We'll do a couple of rounds, then we'll get into the meat and potatoes of the live stream and the net tonight. Remember, when you're operating on a hotspot on SkyHubLink, when you're in the YSF mode, please do not enable your Wires X pass-through. Do not operate your radio in Wires X mode to change reflectors when you're connected to SkyHubLink via your hotspot. You can, however, use the web interface of your Pi-Star or hotspot to change reflectors. If you operate with YSF pass-through and connect the Pi-Star with your radio while using the US SkyHubLink, you can cause disconnects and link issues. Please do not use this feature of your hotspot when connected to SkyHubLink. Let me reset.
Also, once again, we ask that you do not kerchunk
a repeater to see if you're actually teeing it up. Please do come on and verbally ask for a radio check. Kerchunking the system can cause link issues, and it really is illegal. It's an unidentified transmission. Once again, to see if you're making the repeater actually come on and ask for a radio check. Please do, when monitoring the system, if you hear someone ask for that radio check, please be sure to respond. SkyHubLink, remember, is also here for safety and assistance for any communication needs, including emergency. Okay, Scholar says hearing a little echo, and okay. Well, if you're nice, Mike, and hearing audio from a digital radio. Well, everything's muted, so I'm not sure where that's coming from.
We'll figure that out.
We'll figure that out as we go.
Where am I?
Let's see here. Where am I?
Yeah, if you hear someone ask for assistance,
while you're monitoring a SkyHubLink repeater, you can dial your local 911 number, report that you're an amateur radio operator and you just received an emergency call. Give them the details, and then they'll contact the appropriate agency in the appropriate area. Also, if someone needs to reach out for any kind of help, let's make sure that they receive the assistance needed. Is there any emergency traffic at this time? This is K0VH.
All right, then, and one of the fun things that we can do because we're ham radio operators is I'm going to pull this one over on the repeater
and see if I hear anything on the repeater. So it must be something just local to.
Let me do something.
Oh, and I think I see what may do it too. Let me do something here. Stand by, everybody. K0.
All right, that should get rid of that side of that audio. It's kind of an experimentation here tonight. We're doing several different new things. I'm running some little studio software over here, and we're doing everything over here too. So, and it's all going through the radio back up here to my right. So there you go. This is a controlled net. All must be checking in to be recognized by NCS. We'll take a few check-ins and then do a roundtable. Like I said, we're going to do things a little bit differently tonight. By the way, if you're listening on the internet stream, you can text me with your name and location and call sign at 303-704-3290. All right, let's go ahead and at this point, I'm going to show you what we're going to be looking at tonight. This is really, really kind of cool. We're going to be looking at the SkyHubLink website here, and you can see a little corner there where I'm actually in there, and we're going to have some fun with this tonight and try to go over the SkyHubLink website. So hopefully this will work. We'll give this experiment a brand new opportunity here tonight. So anyway, we'll keep playing with this and see how it goes, and we'll go from there. All right, a couple of announcements for everybody tonight. The new Boulder repeater is up at 447.175, kind of there on the northeast side of Boulder, and seems to be covering very well at this time. I want to thank, of course, my good friend Skyler, W0SKY. I also want to thank Ben, N0BAA. And then our good new friend Jim Carey, who actually did the tower climbing. And I am going to get some pictures ready for that. So I'm going to go ahead and try to pull these up here, and then I'll put them up on the YouTube screen. Once again, if you're following along by radio, maybe you can watch the YouTube stream and listen on the radio. And we will take check-ins, as I said a moment ago, via radio here in just a moment. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up these pictures here and put them on the screen for YouTube, and we'll show those around. Let me go ahead and show this picture first and do a reset real quick. This is K0VH. Okay, so you can see here, this is the building, the little, it literally looks like an Airstream trailer, except it's not curved. But this is the building where the Boulder repeater's at. Of course, you can see the Front Range there in the background. And Skyler over to the right there. So that's a building for the new Boulder repeater. There is Skyler, W0SKY, up there putting on the 900 megahertz link antenna on another pole there, and then there's the view with it pointed, the antenna that is pointed at the 900 megahertz repeater at Lookout Mountain. We're actually linking from the 900 megahertz repeater to the 447.175 there in Boulder. And this is Jim, our tower guy, and he also is going to be the owner and the guy who's running the brand new Parker Wires X repeater. So we'll have more information about that here as time goes on. Let me reset on the radio. This is K0VH. Okay, and there I am putting on a connector on the half-inch line. That's Ben to the left there. We didn't quite get his face in there, but there you go, and that was fun. And we're tightening the connector down there in this picture. And then here's the tower. Now, I can zoom in on this a little bit, and you can see Jim there hanging from the level. He's going to put the antenna right over here on this side mount pole. But Jim did the tower climbing for us this day. The antenna's at about the 60-foot, maybe actually, I think that's closer to the 90-foot level on that tower. Here's the repeater itself, and of course it's 900 megahertz link radio is right here, the little Kenwood off to the side. At least I think that's a Kenwood. Skylar might be able to correct me on that. But that's the repeater mounted in the rack up there at Boulder. And again, here's a close-up of the 900 megahertz link radio. And once again, a pullback on the tower there. And I was starting to point, but here is the Boulder repeater antenna. You can see that there on the YouTube stream. See, there's another little close-up of it. And worked out really, really well. It was a beautiful day, nice and sunny. Was not too cold and definitely not windy. KE0VH with the Monday Night SkyHubLink system-wide net. Let me reset. All right. After the reset there, that's kind of all of that I wanted to go over. Let's go ahead and get some check-ins now. Kat, let's go ahead and get some check-ins coming in. And then we're going to start going over the SkyHubLink website. And I'm just going to take as many check-ins as we need to right now. So whoever's listening, you'd like to check in via radio. I am not watching a chat for YouTube yet. I do not have quite enough bandwidth here to watch, or actually enough monitors. I see that there's some other stuff going on there, and it looks like I have figured that out. All right, good, we're there. So let's go ahead and start getting some check-ins right now. Let's see. Let's go ahead and go with a 0, 1, 2, 3, or 5, 4 or 5. Let's go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. And we'll split them up that way and get some initial check-ins here before we start doing the go-over of the website here. So with that, let's get you checked in. Your call sign and only your call sign phonetically twice. This is K0VH looking for you at this time.
Whiskey 0, Zulu, Zulu, Sierra. Whiskey 0, Zulu, Zulu, Sierra. Fred?
Kilo Fox 0, Kilo Uniform Tango. That is Kilo Fox 0, Kilo Uniform Tango.
Bravo. Zulu.
November 1. That's November 1. Uniform. So.
November 0, Zulu, Zulu, November. November 0, Zulu, Zulu, November.
Kilo Echo 0, Tango Papa Whiskey. Kilo Echo 0, Tango Papa Whiskey.
Alpha Romeo.
4 Foxtrot Romeo Kilo. Kilo November 4 Foxtrot Romeo Kilo.
Whiskey, Whiskey 2, Mike India. Whiskey, Whiskey 2, Mike India.
Kilo Delta 4, Alpha, Charlie Golf. Kilo Delta 4, Alpha, Charlie Golf.
0 YYY. That's very charted.
Whiskey 0, Hotel Golf.
0 Whiskey.
Kilo 0 Uniform Zulu. Kilo 0 Uniform Zulu.
Golf Sierra.
Kilo 5 Tango Papa Kilo. Kilo 5 Tango Papa Kilo.
Kilo 0 Uniform Zulu. Kilo 0 Uniform Zulu.
Okay, everyone, I'm going to go ahead and jump back in here. We got a lot to go through there, and we had a lot of crashes. So let me tell you who I heard. I heard W0ZZS, Kilo Foxtrot 0, Kilo Uniform Tango, Kilo 0 Uniform Zulu, November 1 Uniform Kilo Juliet, N0ZZN, Kilo Echo 0 Tango Papa Whiskey, KI0AR, Kilo November 4 Foxtrot Romeo Kilo, Whiskey Whiskey 2 Mike India, Kilo Delta 4 Alpha Charlie Golf, a Whiskey 0 Hotel Golf, and K5TPK. Now, there were a couple in there that I did not get to copy all of. I heard a 0 Yankee Yankee Yankee, I believe. The 0 Yankee Yankee Yankee. Come back to me and let me try to get your call sign in here, if you would, please. This is K0VH.
That is 0 YYY. Kilo Delta 0 Yankee Yankee Yankee.
Okay, good. Got the Kilo Delta Zero Yankee Yankee. There was also an Oscar Whiskey there. I did not get your entire call sign. Let's see if we can get you. Go ahead.
Kilo Sierra Zero Whiskey, Kilo Sierra Zero Whiskey.
Okay, awesome, Keith. Got you. KS0W down in Pagosa. Good. How about the Mike Alpha Sierra? The Mike Alpha Sierra. I did not get your entire call sign. Try again, please. Okay, I'll get another round of check-ins in just a minute. This is not necessarily going to be a commentary type comment on things net as far as that goes here on a Monday night, because now that we have the video capabilities, we're going to go over the SkyHubLink.com website, which I feel is very important. What you're seeing on the YouTube screen right now, we will talk about in just a couple of moments. This is the actual digital dashboard for the YSF link, so we'll talk about that here in just a little while. But let's go ahead and talk about the SkyHubLink website. Let's see. So you'll see on the right-hand side here, if you're looking on YouTube, you'll see where we have our recent SkyHub updates. That is, of course, where we try to put the latest news and information about what may be happening on SkyHubLink. And you can click on these over there, and, of course, it'll bring up the screen about, for instance, in this case, the new Boulder repeater, and it shows coverage map. And we try to update these things as quickly as possible. But let's talk about the opening webpage, the homepage. We want to be a welcome, open, and friendly community to all amateur radio operators, especially new hams. You know, us old-timers, we get in here, and we need to remember that the new guys need to be made to feel welcome and to feel like they've got a place that they can get on the radio and talk and learn and grow. It's very, very important. And I feel like that's one of the most important things we can do as amateur radio operators, is to be welcoming, open, and friendly to all the amateur radio operators, but especially new guys. SkyHubLink wants to enable anyone with any mode radio to essentially contact anywhere, anywhere, any mode, from any place you may have an internet connection or a repeater that is internet connected. So that's always something that's very good for us to remember as amateur radio operators. SkyHubLink also wants to provide little used operators, or repeaters rather, meaning that the repeaters, they're just dead. They're just silent. What is the use of a silent repeater? Well, SkyHubLink wants to help promote those repeaters and get activity on them to let other hams know that they're there and on the air. Let me reset. This is K0VH. Now, I'd like to remind everybody, too, that while SkyHubLink is a Colorado-based system, we're not just limited to Colorado. We have folks from all over the world and all over the country that are connecting in with us, and we're really, really glad to have them do that. But we need to remember as operators that, there's going to be folks from Japan or New Hampshire or Illinois or California, all across the country. Saskatchewan, our good buddy Richard, VE5RH, running the repeater up there. So we need to remember that it's going to be very important for us to remember that somebody may be coming in from all over the world. So we're not just a Colorado-based system. And we want to promote that good amateur practice, friendship, and everything for all. So let me reset one more time. This is K0VH. Okay, and Kat told me via text that we've got some different calls than I did. I see she copied Mike up in Whitehorse, Yukon, VY5 Mike Golf Sierra, WW2 Mike India. That may have happened, Kat, because I was having an awful lot of doubles and crashes. So once again, I'd invite you to go over not only the homepage, of course, but every page here on SkyHubLink.com, and let's talk about the most, probably the most important page, where you can see so much information about what's going on with SkyHubLink on a moment's notice. Let's go ahead and pull up the status page here, and I'll get back to the items up there at the top. But let's look at the status page now. Watch what happens to the green bar that says Wires X, SkyHubLink 46361, YSF, DMR, Brandmeister, so on and so forth. When I unkey, that's going to go. The green is going to go away. Now, you see, this is really a very, very useful tool for finding, okay, am I making SkyHubLink in its entirety? And you notice all the repeaters here in this box, the 4609 SkyHub System Hub Denver. This is all All-Star. These are all All-Star repeaters that are connected in at any given moment. And, of course, most of them stay connected in, but some of them don't. Some of them may be coming from, like down at the bottom, W5SLG in Abilene, Texas, Katy, Texas, KI5AOK. I noticed that our good buddy Charlie down there, WA5AIR, has his All-Star node connected in for the Monday Night Net. But you'll see others on there like up towards the top, Stratton and Silverthorne and Grand Lake and Vale. Those are all SkyHubLink repeaters on the system, as are Pagosa, Golden Boulder, Colorado Springs, and Pueblo. So the status page is very useful. One, to see if your All-Star node is connected in, and another to see when you key up that and you call for a radio check. Don't just key it up. Call for a radio check. First of all, if you just key it up, if you just kerchunk it, it may not light it up for a long enough time for it to actually register. But now, as you see, I'm transmitting. It's showing that I'm coming through the digital side of things, through the 409301 link, which is all of our digital stuff, and I'll show you how all that connects together here in just a few minutes. This is KE0VH with the SkyHubLink Monday Night System-Wide Net. Okay, by the way, I'd like to remind you, if you would like to watch the YouTube stream tonight, and this will be recorded and it will be saved, and you'll be able to go back and watch it later. You'll be able to see it if you miss it tonight, or you're just listening on the radio. Maybe you're driving and can't. But the YouTube stream, there's a link for it on the Nets page at skyhublink.com underneath the Monday Night Net. So with that, let me reset. This is K0VH, and we're going to talk about now the upper side of the status page. Okay, so I do notice there's probably going to be a little bit of a latency delay there on the actual YouTube, but, you know, there's just not much we can do about that. So follow along if you can, and hopefully this will be useful to you. So the first line here where it says, click here for full screen analog status and remote control. That line primarily is for those of us who actually operate SkyHubLink, and those of us who have the control systems for SkyHubLink and the passwords and the logins and all this kind of stuff to get in that. So on a day-to-day basis, if you're just a general user of the system, you won't necessarily do that. But this one is very interesting. The click here for YSF reflector status, and it will open in a new tab. So we'll go ahead and click on that. And you'll notice that this is the YSF reflector dashboard for the U.S. SkyHubLink. And the cool thing here is you can go down through here and you can see connected YSF gateways. And you'll notice that there's an awful lot of call signs in there. These are Pi stars or other nodes that are logged in via YSF at any one time to SkyHubLink. And it's a very useful feature. One, to see if your Pi star is connecting. And two, if you go a little bit further down past all of these, you will see that right now I am transmitting. So that is the actual YSF Link node radio to the Wires X repeater from the rest of SkyHubLink that's coming through the status page here, and the way the hub works, tying all this stuff together via software for the Wires X DMR and the other digital modes there. So pretty cool how you can see all that, and how it all just kind of works together there. Let's see. I'm losing my webpage here. So we'll go back here to the YSF reflector. Once again, it's a very useful tool. This is K0VH with the Monday Night SkyHubLink System-Wide Net. Let's take a standby. All right, then. The next, and we looked at that just a moment ago. Click here for D-Star status. It'll show you the status of the D-Star link and the different systems that may be connected in through that. And there's some folks, once again, are connected in via a hotspot using the DMR system. So that's a very useful tool if you're wanting to operate DMR. And then if you click here for the YSF to Wires X connection, and we'll let that, actually, if I go there, it will pull that up. Let me stand by here for just a moment. KE0VH. Okay, Richard says he's checked in up in Saskatchewan, watching on YouTube there, Kat, if you want to add Richard to the NetLogger page here. And I see that also Randy, BE4REM, is there. By the way, guys, yeah, we do the nets, pretty much most of the nets here on SkyHubLink, using NetLogger, so you might want to check out details on that. One night, Kat, she doesn't know it yet, but she's going to give a full rundown on everything NetLogger here on the Monday Night Net. So we'll talk about that as time goes on. But let's go to the digital dashboard. This is something any of you can see by going to the status page and clicking on that YSF link, or you can go to ke0vh.skyhublink.com, and you can see the Pi-Star digital voice dashboard for KE0VH. And what this is this is actually our YSF link radio that I link from my home here that talks to the 448350 Wires X repeater using the C4 FM modulation technique. And remember, YSF is not Yaesu Fusion. And what is Fusion and Wires X? We'll talk about that in just a minute. But it is using the C4 FM modulation technique that Yaesu uses for their Wires X radios. So that's something that that we can learn and need to understand as far as that goes. Let me reset. This is KE0VH. And I'll get a drink of water while I'm at it. And I got to remember not to bang the microphone. So we'll look at how this system interlocks and communicates. But this is also, of course, a good way for you to see if your digital signal is throwing up your call sign there. Come on and actually ask for a radio check. But you can see right now my call sign is there. I'm transmitting. I've been transmitting for 21 seconds, and it's lit up in red. And you can see some of the other guys who have come in here that we just checked in. Now, you see where it says SkyHub on that page. That is somebody coming in over an analog repeater. And, of course, being as they're not transmitting their call sign digitally, they are, of course, on analog, so we automatically just transmit SkyHub during that so that it shows up on the digital dashboard, and we know that somebody is coming in via an analog repeater through the All-Star system. Make sense? All right, we'll roll on here. I'm going to go ahead and shut this and go back, check here for IP network status. This is kind of a neat little deal that I'm not, yeah, okay, it is running. There you go. It shows you the main hub server, the main web page, the Lookout Mountain 900 megahertz repeater, Colorado Springs, Salida, and on and so on and so forth. And, of course, a few of those are showing red. However, these are working, but we need to kind of redo this page a little bit there as well. So we'll go ahead and click out of that for the moment. This is Jack, KE0VH, and once again, we're live streaming on YouTube here for the SkyHubLink Monday Night System-Wide Net. So we'll go ahead and go back. You know what? I am missing something here. Oh, wait a minute. There it is. That's what I want, and I'll go ahead and put it over here. So now we're going to go ahead and look at the repeaters page. This is KE0VH. I tell you what, let's take a break and see if we can get some more check-ins, and I'll just go ahead and make it any call sign, any place, anywhere. This is the SkyHubLink Monday Night System-Wide Net. We're live streaming onto YouTube right now. If you're not connected into that but would like to, it's either in your SkyHubLink email, or you can go to the Nets page at skyhublink.com, go down to the Monday Night Net, and you can check in that way. This is KE0VH. Let's go ahead and get another round of check-ins right now. Any place, anywhere, any number in your call sign, if you'd like to check in and have not yet have not heard us repeat your call sign is checking in, let's go ahead and check you in now. This is K0VH.
WD0CIV, WD0CIV.
Brought by Victor Whiskey India, Wayne, in Dumas, Texas.
Alpha Echo 7, Romeo Juliet. It's Alpha Echo 7, Romeo Juliet.
Alpha 5, Alpha Hotel.
Hotel Yankee.
November 4, Romeo Bravo Bravo. November 4, Romeo Bravo Bravo, Mike, and for RBB.
KC1, NYC, Neil in Wingfield, Massachusetts. Checking in and out, but I'll be listen only. Thank you. November Charlie 2, Whiskey X-Ray. November Charlie 2, Whiskey X-Ray.
Kilo Golf 8, Romeo November Yankee. Kilo Golf 8, Romeo November Yankee. KK0TX.
November 8, Zulu Foxtrot.
All right, I'll go ahead and pick it back up here. I want to remind guys, your call sign and only your call sign phonetically twice. Those of you who kind of just said your call sign and then your name and location and in and out and all that, I did not copy your call sign there. So please, when you're checking in, actually, I don't mind you saying in and out if you don't want to be recognized, but otherwise it was really, really tough copy. Let me tell you who I heard that time solidly. I heard WD0CIV. Charles, I know you're coming in over DMR, or at least I think you are, and your audio, dude, is just mind-blastingly loud. So just a heads up there. AE7RJ, Randall, good evening. AA5 Alpha Hotel, November 4, Romeo Bravo Bravo, November Charlie 2, Whiskey X-Ray. Gary, glad to have you here tonight. We're going to have you on as a special guest one evening there. Kilo Golf 8, Romeo November Yankee, Kilo 0, Delta X-Ray, and November 8, Zulu Foxtrot is who I heard. It looks like Cat's... the 20 line 26 I thought was Kilo 0 Delta X-Ray. Otherwise, I think we're kind of a long line there. You've got K7UHY. Okay, we'll take that one. WA7 Echo Mike. I'm going to take it the Cat heard you there. And the Kilo Foxtrot 5 Victor Whiskey India. Okay, very good. All right, let's continue on here and talk about the repeaters page at SkyHubLink.com. So the repeaters page has a lot of great information on it. I'll go through this real quick. We've got a lot of pictures of most of the actual active SkyHubLink repeaters that are on the system just about all the time. Sometimes that might change in and out just a little bit, but you'll notice as you go down the first part here, we have the on-air linked or unlinked operational status section. And as you see, I try to update this. We try to keep this page updated on an almost daily basis, so you can look at it and know which repeaters are linked in and which ones are not. There's a link to the Broadcastify stream, courtesy of the Rocky Mountain Radio League there. And we've got some instructions on here that I would like for all of you, when you get the opportunity, to go ahead and read and go over, because it's very important that we as amateur radio operators try to do the best way we can in operating this system. The first thing is you can't quick key or tailgate. You got to leave a few seconds between transmissions. If you don't, first of all, your first few syllables may be cut off, and you may be cutting somebody else off. We can't operate these repeaters linked to SkyHubLink like we used to operate just a single repeater, where somebody would finish and you'd key up right on top of them, and you'd just keep that conversation going so tight that you couldn't slip a piece of paper through. It's very important that we try. We all fail at it. It's hard to get used to after just operating on single repeaters forever. But we need to really, really try to get into the habit of leaving that time between transmissions, and remember to key up for about a second and a half or so before you begin speaking, and then when you're done, leave that PTT closed just a minute so that your last syllable doesn't get cut off. But very important to remember that that's something that we need to try to learn to do with the SkyHubLink linked repeater system. Let me reset. By the way, just an added note there, the 448-350 Fusion repeater is permanently locked into the SkyHubLink Wires X room. Do not try to change this repeater because it's actually the way that we link the All-Star side of SkyHubLink and the YSF reflector side of SkyHubLink to the Wires X side. That repeater cannot change. We've got it locked out, so remember that as you're operating. All the other Wires X repeaters on the system are totally steerable to other rooms, and you're free to do that within the Wires X system. Let me reset. This is K0VH. Okay, as we go on down through the page here, you'll notice that we have different sections kind of cordoned off into different areas. And you'll notice, and let's just use this as an example, Milner Mountain, 447.800, the Wires X repeater is on the air and it is linked into the system. You'll notice the analog repeater there on Milner Mountain, 448.400. I'm trying to mouse over these as we go, is on air and linked to the system. Let's go on down through here to where we have some that are not. Okay, here's one that's unlinked. The Mount Chief KB5YZB repeater on 447.100. It's analog. It is on air, but it is not linked. Was just up at that repeater earlier today when I was doing some work for my radio station that's actually up there. And we're waiting for the internet connection to get in. We're trying to get it in there as soon as possible. And then, of course, that status will change to a linked, as is the WA0MJX repeater on 447.050, which is on top of the Amoco building in downtown Denver. You see that it's on air and linked. We've got the coming soon repeater in Parker on 448.275 that will be Wires X. So that's on its way. So we try to really keep this webpage updated on a daily basis, especially when a repeater is down or not connected. So if you ever find that one of our repeaters is down or not connected or something, you can always email me or call me on the telephone, text me, whatever, and I'll be glad to update this webpage first chance that I get. Akron right now is off air and unlinked. We've had some problems out there with the snow, and we've got a guy, our good friend Bruce, going out to that as soon as he can. You'll notice down through here, the Mount Princeton 448-400 repeater, we've got a power supply issue there. I think it's on the air, but it's definitely not working correctly, and it is unlinked to the rest of SkyHubLink. If you go on down through, you'll see the other, oh, you know what? I need to change this one. See, there we go. Steamboat Springs is relinked, so I forgot to do that earlier today. I'll do that a little bit later after the net. Let me reset. This is K0VH with the SkyHubLink Monday night system-wide net. Okay, as we continue on, you're going to notice on the western slope, most of the western slope repeaters right now are intermittently linked. There's some issues with a couple of the solar-powered sites. Our good friend Kerry N2K&K is working on that. Those repeaters will be linked back into SkyHubLink as soon as some of those power issues are taken care of at this point. You'll notice our Durango repeater is off the air, decommissioned, and no longer in service. So that's how to use that section of the repeaters page at SkyHubLink.com. Like I said, we try to keep it updated very quickly, so it's usually pretty accurate. Let me reset. All right, so here we get to the descriptions and pictures of the repeaters. This is very cool. There's a whole lot of them in here. As a matter of fact, we'll go on down and show you just some of the other pictures and coverage maps. There's the Boulder stuff that I just put in over the weekend, the downtown Amoco building repeater, which is really a very nice setup down there on top of the Amoco building. So go on down through here. If you want to see what our repeaters look like and some of the mountaintop areas, the view from the Colorado Springs repeater site is just tremendous, as you see in that picture. So have a look through there, and we try to update that when a new repeater comes on. There's our good friend Mark in 0XRX and Skylar when we were putting up the Vail repeater there. So the repeaters page at SkyHubLink.com can also be very useful even on a daily basis. We're going to go ahead and check the connections page now. Let me reset. This is K0VH. Okay, let's talk about our connections page here. This page is very informative about kind of how the whole main hub works and how everything is tied together through the internet to the SkyHubLink main server, which we put up this picture of a server room. It's not nearly that complicated. It's a couple of Raspberry Pis. And I figured this looked a lot more impressive than a couple of Raspberry Pis. This gives you a whole layout of how the entire system is linked together. All-Star, WiresX, DMR, analog, everything and anything that can connect into SkyHubLink is kind of represented here on this page. So you can look at that closer when you get the opportunity. Then as you go down the page, you'll see how that we have the different descriptions of the different modes and what numbers they are and so on and so forth and kind of how they work. I'll let you read that on your own time when you get the opportunity to, and it'll be very informative about the different systems and so on and so forth that are here on SkyHubLink. Let me reset, and then we'll talk about the WiresX and Pi-Star DMR page. KE0VH. All right, let me do this. Let me break for any specific questions. Is there anybody that has any specific questions regarding anything I've covered at this point? I'll be happy to answer them, even if it's 2 or 3 pages back. But you have a question you'd like to ask, feel free to go ahead and give me a call here, and I will be glad to answer those questions for you. This is K0VH. Go ahead with any questions. No questions, I guess. All right, then. No questions. Let's go ahead and take one more round of check-ins. Get another round of check-ins in here. And any call sign, any place, anywhere, we'll be happy to get you checked in to tonight's Monday night SkyHubLink system-wide net. Go ahead and call now. This is K0VH.
Kilo 9, Bravo Yankee uniform. Kilo 9, Bravo Yankee uniform.
PC1, MYZ, in and down.
Alpha India 7 Oscar Foxtrot. Alpha India 7 Oscar Foxtrot.
Whiskey 0 Hotel Golf. Whiskey 0 Hotel Golf.
Kilo Alpha 3 Victor Delta Tango.
Okay, I'll go ahead and stop there at this time. I heard Alpha India 7 Oscar Foxtrot W0HG. Bill, I am so sorry. I had you written down when you called in before. I was pretty sure. Oh, yeah, there you are. Okay, sorry about that. I didn't recognize you last time there, Bill. and Kilo Alpha 3 Victor Alpha Tango. Is there anybody else who would like to check in at this point for the Monday Night Net? Please call now.
Kilo Foxtrot 0, Golf Quebec Hotel. Kilo Foxtrot 0, Golf Quebec Hotel.
Lima 2 Bravo Echo Zulu portable. Did you copy there, Jack?
Okay, yeah, let's recognize KF0, Golf Quebec Hotel, and Zulu Lima 2, Bravo Echo Zulu. Okay, yep, got you in there. Kat, I see that, okay, you got those two in there. All right, very good. This is the SkyHubLink Monday Night System-Wide Net. Once again, we are streaming live on YouTube tonight, and we're talking about how do I use the SkyHubLink website? How do I understand what's going on with that? Well, I'm glad you asked, because that's what we're doing tonight. This will also be recorded. You can also watch it at a later time on my YouTube channel, and I'm going to probably set up a SkyHubLink YouTube channel here pretty soon, so we'll talk about that. All right, once again, this is K0VH. Let's go on and look at the YSF WiresX Pi-Star DMR page. SkyHubLink WiresX repeaters are all over the place, and you know, what's the difference between WiresX and Fusion, and what is Yaesu doing here, and so on and so forth. This page really explains it in depth and in detail. I would encourage you to read it for yourself. There's some great links on here. You can see Yaesu active nodes, WiresX active rooms, an ID list, so on and so forth. So what is the difference between YSF and Yaesu System Fusion? System Fusion is Yaesu's marketing name, essentially, for marrying together the digital and the analog technologies. Their repeaters and most of their radios have the capability of doing either and both. So, you know, you see the AMS, the automatic mode select. That is the System Fusion. They're fusing together the two different modes into one system. All of the SkyHubLink WiresX Yaesu repeaters operate digital only. We only operate one analog repeater, and that's out at First View, way out on the Eastern Plains. We put that out there as analog because we figured it would get more use that way. But most of the other SkyHubLink WiresX repeaters are all digital. So once again, Fusion is really no more than a marketing name that Yaesu uses for the C4 FM mode of digital modulation, which YSF also uses. WiresX is a very proprietary system with Yaesu. They'll say it's not, but it really kind of is. They have not just farmed it out to people, open sourced it to be able to make another radio or another system that would be able to work. So the guys came up with YSF. YSF uses a Yaesu radio with the C4 FM modulation to be able to communicate, and then it's got a different system for linking everything together via the YSF reflector system. You cannot directly connect to WiresX with a hotspot, but you have to connect to a YSF reflector that is somehow connected to, for instance, our SkyHubLink WiresX repeaters through our YSF radio bridge, which I house in a rack right over there at my house. So that's basically the differences between that. I'll let you go ahead and read the webpage for all the information and details. We have some great videos. How do you set up your own Fusion WiresX room, PDN node? What do you do? There's all kinds of links on there. I would highly encourage you to go on there and check everything out. This is K0VH with the SkyHubLink Monday Night System-Wide Net. Let me take a reset here. All right, I've got to bring a web page back up here that I forgot to do just a moment ago. So let me do this for just a moment, and I'll bring up the web page that I wanted to show you there. So once again, let's go ahead. Oh, yeah, this was the next thing that's really important. If you have a YSF hotspot or a hotspot, let me just put it that way, that's using the Pi-Star software, it's very, very, very important that every so often you do an update on that. I try to keep the SkyHubLink Pi-Stars. We've got one up in Steamboat Springs. We've got one here, of course, that I mentioned that is our link system. I try to keep those updated with the latest software. And on the page here, you can see that we have details and instructions on how to do that, how to keep that hotspot with your Pi-Star software updated. This also leads you to another couple of web pages that have some more in-depth instructions, but it's very important that you check that. Keep that Pi-Star updated. What is DMR? There's a good explanation about that on here with some various odd and sundry links. And one other thing that I want to put on there is a link to our good friends at the Rocky Mountain Ham Group's website. They have a series of linked DMR repeaters all over the state, and they do an absolutely wonderful job with these repeaters. Most of our repeaters, SkyHubLink, are all internet linked with a couple of exceptions. But Rocky Mountain Ham has done an amazing job of linking together DMR repeaters. So I would highly encourage you to check out the rmham.org website, rmham.org, and I will put up a link for that here on our skyhublink.com website. So we'll go back to the top here. Let me reset, and we'll take a look at coverage. This is K0VH. Okay, so yeah, we're going to take a look at the coverage page next on the website. It really is very helpful in making sure that you can kind of see around the state what Colorado has covered and other areas too. This is an interactive map. We actually need to do a little bit of updating on that, but if we zoom way out, as you see here, you see not only Colorado, you see Saskatchewan, you see Spokane, you see St. Cloud, Minnesota. We need to get Iron Mountain, Michigan up in there, and the folks down in the Socorro area. We also need to do a little updating on the Phoenix coverage there. But you can unclick or click on the different repeater coverages that you want to take a look at here, and it kind of shows you what and where is where, or what is where and what, or something like that. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. So the coverage page can also be very useful. It needs a little updating. We'll go ahead and move over to the Nets page now. This is KE0VH with the SkyHubLink Monday Night System-Wide Net. Let me get a drink of water and take a reset real quick. All right, then, let's look at the Nets page. It's pretty self-explanatory. By the way, remember SkyHubLink does not allow check-ins to Nets by quick key for digital operations. This has kind of become a thing of the past here lately, but just remember that you cannot quick key for digital operators. Remember, when you're transmitting your call sign digitally, it is not going over our analog repeaters. They have no way, of course, to decode it and then resend it out. So by law, it's an illegal transmission. Even though it may identify digitally, it does not do so analog. And that's, once again, a reason that we ask you to please come on and verbally ask for that radio check. Gary, of course, has the SkyHubLink Severe Weather Net, the Daily Outlook Net at 1 o'clock. And we thank Gary so much for all the hard work that he does on that. And Brian, K6SKI, our very own cat, W0KPH, helps to spot and do the logs for that one. So we really have a great team of folks who are working on all this stuff. Of course, the next section is there for the Monday Night Net, and I usually try to post the YouTube stream link for that, so that'll be there. Monday night, you'll also notice that at 8:30 p.m., our good friends from the Rocky Mountain Radio League have their club net, and 449-450 disconnects from SkyHubLink right at about 8:26 or so for the RMRL's net there, and it's also simulcast on 146.94. Then the next section is about our good friend Bernice there with the Colorado Astronomy Net and all the information that Bernice has. And we really appreciate being able to have Bernice's net here now on SkyHubLink on Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock. Then on Wednesday evenings, you've got the Digital Learning Net. I'd really like to get a picture or two of Bucky and Doug and some of the other folks involved with that there. The listing is there. Thursday night, the Sarah Net from the San Luis Valley Amateur Radio Club at 8 p.m. every Thursday night. Appreciate Dave in 0KM and James 80LV and the other guys down there. The Society of Broadcast Engineers Net is here on the last Thursday night of the month, and there's our good friend Randall, AE7RJ. And, of course, then the brand new Digital Youth Net is every Friday night. You can check that out, and it's a lot of fun. Get on there and talk to these young operators. Robert, KC8GPD, has our Saturday High Noon Swap Fest Net, and then something special on Saturday nights on the Wire, most of the Wires X repeaters anyway, the America Link International Wires X Net, of which I get to be net control on occasion. So those are a listing of the nets, and the Boy Scout Net, of course, is the first and third Sunday evening of the month. George Weber, K0BSA, hosts that. Let me reset. All right, so that's a look at the Nets page. Now, there's one other tab on here that I'd like for you to take a look at, and go ahead and go to the Severe Weather Watch Network page. That's something that we try to keep updated very frequently as well. And once again, Gary, NC2WX, keeps us up to date on this. There's a lot of great weather information on here. I really encourage you to go to this page and read it thoroughly. One of the things that we're going to be talking about, we're going to do this on an upcoming Monday Night Net, is what constitutes a severe weather report and when should you be reporting that. For instance, if there's a chance of severe weather going on and we're watching out for severe thunderstorms and all that, calling Gary up and saying, Gary, it's starting to rain at my house, or I just thought I just maybe heard a little hail and the wind's blowing real hard. That does not constitute a severe weather report. And when that kind of thing is going on, it's very, very important for us to remember that we don't need to be clogging up the airways with superfluous information. We need to really be watching what we're saying and how we say it. And Gary is going to be going over that with us on an upcoming Monday Night Net here. So we'll look forward to having Gary in here to do that. I would encourage you to read the webpage on exactly how and what constitutes a severe weather report, and tying up the radio airwaves with just generic checks of what may be happening at your house is not what it's all about. So we'll go over all that in detail on an upcoming Monday Night Net. Let me reset. This is K0VH. Okay, finally, the Join Contact page. This is, of course, what we'd like for everyone to visit that wants to have anything to do with SkyHubLink. And if you want to support us, if you want to let us know you're there, if you want to make sure that you have all the information on everything going on SkyHubLink-wise, well, this is the page to do it on. Click on the link there and sign up for our newsletter. We're really very grateful for all of you who have, and hope that it's a service that will be worthwhile to you. So that's kind of it. That's an overview. Do I have any questions or comments or any other information that somebody might like to share regarding the SkyHubLink.com website? Let's go ahead and pick you up now. This is K0VH. All right. Well, since we weren't really going to do necessarily a big round table of things here on the net tonight, does anybody have any comments that they might like to make about the website, about the system? Now is your time. Do you have any complaints, any gripes, anything that you'd like to let us know about, maybe something you feel we could do better? That's another thing I wanted to try to address here tonight on both the YouTube stream and the radio, of course. We'll take any of your comments or anything along those lines via the radio here. If you'd like, go ahead and give me a call. This is K0VH.
Kilo Delta Zero Uniform Foxtrot Oscar.
Okay, very good. KF0 Uniform Foxtrot Oscar. How you doing, man? Good evening. Welcome to the net. What you got?
Kilo Delta Zero Uniform Foxtrot Oscar, KD0 UFO, Mike. Hey, Jack, I just want to say that I think SkyHub, since its founding days, and I've pretty much been here since the beginning, has just blossomed into something that is fantastic. Who'd have ever thought back in the day, a couple years ago, or however long ago it's been now, that SkyHub would be as far-reaching and as important as it has become, and it just continues to grow and enlighten people and bring good information to everybody all over, not only the country, but the world, really. And I can't thank you guys enough for all that you do to keep this going and make it better every day by the day. KD0 UFO, back to you, Jack.
Mike, thank you very much, and your check's in the mail. Thank you very much. It's very kind. You know, we were discussing the other day, we had lunch after putting up the Boulder repeater, Skylar, W0SKY, and Jim Carey, our new Parker repeater owner, who's, by the way, got himself an FT5D and is working on his license. But we were talking about that the other day, and you know, this started actually probably 4 or 5 years ago now, when Skylar was going down to Socorro, New Mexico to go to school at the university down there, and he wanted a way to be able to keep back in touch with friends here in Denver. So we worked it out to where we hooked up 449-450 through the link radio that I'm actually running here, although before that he was using a link up on Blue Mountain, and then we moved it to my house for the 449-450 link. And he kept the Socorro machine connected up there. And that was actually the very first beginnings of SkyHubLink. Then we kind of got together with Carrie into K&K out on the western slope, because Carrie and I had wanted to be able to have a system to where we could talk back and forth across the rock pile there. And so Carrie indeed helped us get connected up. And that's kind of how it all started, Mike. Really appreciate your kind words. And, you know, we're here to serve the amateur radio community. My dogs are barking upstairs, but there you go. We're here to serve the amateur radio community and to make sure that, you know, people have a way to communicate, basically, no matter where they are all over the world, as I said earlier. You know, Russell, K9BYU, actually was in Athens, Greece, on the other side of the world, and used the internet to talk back across the repeaters here on SkyHubLink one time not too long ago. So that was very cool. Very cool. Mike, thank you very much. KD0 UFO from KE0VH. Any other questions or comments here on the net tonight?
KF0 KT.
Yeah, KF0 KAT. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm actually mobile right now, and earlier when you were talking about the differences between YSF Fusion and Wires X, I kind of was in the spot, like in the gap on I-25 in between Monument and Castle Rock, and you got to the good parts and it completely dropped out on me, and that's actually what I am trying to figure out, because I'm fairly new to the world of ham, and I actually got my hands on an FPM 400 that does all of that, and I'm still not exactly sure what's what with this radio or what the actual difference is between it. So I feel sorry to ask this for you to repeat that, but the signal completely dropped out on me when you were giving that explanation.
No, that's quite all right. That's quite all right. Once again, Yaesu is digital, and the mode of modulation is C4FM. Keep that in mind as we go through this real quick. YSF uses the same modulation system, C4FM. WiresX is Yaesu's, basically their marketing name for the way that they link the repeaters over their proprietary network through the WiresX system. That's basically how that works. The FTM 400, along with the other Yaesu radios, of course, will indeed do analog and C4FM digital, or what Yaesu calls fusion. Fusion is the marriage, the fusing together of both the the FM analog capability and the digital capability. Does that make sense for the first part of the question? And YSF is essentially using the C4FM modulation technique to be able to link things together and communicate via the YSF reflector network. The nice thing is that a YSF hotspot can talk to a Yaesu WiresX repeater, can actually talk to the repeater digitally, and that's how we're linking all of SkyHubLink through the 448-350 WiresX repeater into the WiresX side of SkyHubLink. Once again, the connections page will show you this in a diagram, and will really help explain that when you get the opportunity to maybe get in front of a repeater, or you could go back and rewatch this live stream. I will be making the link for that available after we're done tonight. Makes sense? Back to you from KE0VH.
No, that actually makes a lot of sense. And the way I was looking at it, was my understanding was that you had to use system fusion to gain access to the WiresX. So basically, to get on either C4FM or into WiresX, it required you to have a Yaesu radio. That was my understanding of it all.
Yes, that is correct. That is correct. You will have to have a Yaesu radio capable of doing the digital WiresX fusion mode, or the fusion, let's call it that. But you will have to have a Yaesu radio capable of, the digital mode to be able to talk to the digital YSF or the WiresX repeaters, or your hotspot to use YSF. Of course, hotspots have other modes built into them, DMR, and so on and so forth. But yes, that is that should be essentially the answer to your question. Sound okay?
Absolutely, sir. I appreciate the refresher course. And you have a good night. 73, KF0, KUT, back to that.
All right, then, KF0 KUT from K0VH. It's about 10 minutes after 8 o'clock here in the Rocky Mountain West. Are there any other questions regarding anything to do with SkyHubLink, the system? Do you have any comments that you'd like for us as the operators of SkyHubLink to answer? Be glad to do that for you right now. This is K0VH.
Yes, 0W.
Yeah, hey Keith, K0W to K0VH. Once again, Keith operates our SkyHubLink repeater down in the Pagosa Springs area, which is analog, by the way, and so glad to have that one down there. Keith, what's your question or comment? Go ahead.
Question, Jack. I thought you had a code block built or a listing of all the frequencies somewhere on the website. I can't find it. I'm trying to reprogram a bunch of stuff. You got a code plug hidden somewhere?
Keith, I'm really glad you asked that because I did not go over that when I was on the repeaters page. That is on the repeaters page. There's a printer-friendly PDF repeater listing, and we do need to get that updated because we have actually added a couple of other things, including the Pagosa repeater. It actually should be on there. I'll tag Brian, K5 Zulu India Alpha. There's also files for you to download that you can direct input to your RT system software and Chirp by going to the list, the links there on the repeaters page. So yes, answer to your question is yes, it's on the repeaters page right above the operational status boxes. KS0W from K0VH.
That's part of the question to the RT systems world, because I got some of that. What about the Anytone world? You got anything compatible with their system?
Keith, we do not. The Anytone radios are primarily DMR and analog. I think those would have to be direct entry. I am not sure how those radios work myself. Another good thing, you might check into the Digital Learning Net on Wednesday night with Bucky and Doug there at 7 o'clock and see maybe if they have something. We do not have that on the website, but they may know of something. You can. Once again, though, download the PDF repeater listings, and if nothing else, you could program them in that way. But no, we don't have anything pre-programmed as far as code plugs. SkyHubLink, just by default, is not doing a lot of DMR stuff because we only have the one repeater here in Denver that's capable of DMR. Well, actually, there are two now, one in Lakewood and one in Denver. We may have a third one here pretty soon down in Pueblo. We're working with the Pueblo Amateur Radio Club down there. As a matter of fact, just talked to their president earlier this evening, and we may actually have another DMR repeater online via the Pueblo Repeater Club before too long. But long and short of it is no, I'm sorry, we do not. KS0W, K0VH.
Okay, I appreciate that information, Jack. I'm on an Anytone tonight just to do something different, obviously analog. And there is a way to, I understand, to merge the RT with the Anytone. I just haven't tried it. That's one of those 2-day-long frustrating projects, but I guess I'm going to have to force myself to do it. And I'm headed for Denver tomorrow if you need anything. Other than that, that's all from here, KS0W.
Okay, Keith, real good, real good. Well, as our good buddy Paul, KF0EYS, says, need a bigger bank account, but I don't think you want to help with that. Anyway, Keith, thanks for being here. This is the Monday Night SkyHubLink System-Wide Net. Want to thank all of you for checking in tonight. Are there any other questions or comments, anything you'd like to let us know about SkyHubLink that we don't know at this point? Maybe you've got a suggestion, maybe you've got a criticism. That'd be all right, too. Any other comments, go ahead and call now. This is K0VH.
Whiskey 5 Hotel Whiskey Zulu. I just want to say you guys do a great job, Jack. Glad to have a repeater that links everything out here on the Eastern Plains. W5 HWZ, Bill and Hugo, 73.
Bill, we are so glad to have those repeaters out there. And I tell you what, that actually reminds me of one other thing that I wanted to show everybody and how we control and keep up to date with the Wires X repeaters. We don't really have a direct interface to the website for the Wires X repeaters. We use some software to be able to remotely look at that. Those repeaters, and when we do that, this is what we're looking at. We're looking at essentially a Wires X dashboard. Those of you who operate Wires X, this is up on the screen in YouTube. But those of you who operate Wires X are very well familiar with this screen and seeing what you may or may not be connected to. But all of the SkyHubLink repeaters that we have control of, and let's see, I can show you. That easy enough by doing this. Let me pull that up there, and we'll do that, and then go ahead and bring that back. We use some software called AnyDesk, and we're able to see all these Wires X repeaters via AnyDesk. And for instance, I can get into let's just pick one here, the Dillon repeater, Dillon up there, the Dillon Wires X repeater. So I go ahead and I log into that, and it will pull up the Wires X screen there, and that allows me to have control over each one of our. There you get to see my pretty 737 800 there. But that allows me to have control over all our wires X repeaters. All right, very good. Any other questions or comments here? It's 8:15. I'll be happy to take a few more before the Rocky Mountain Radio League net tonight at 8:30 on 449-450 and 14694. This is KE0VH with the SkyHubLink Monday Night System-Wide Net. Any other questions or comments?
This is Kilo Yankee 40 for a check-in, please.
Okay, I believe that was Kilo Yankee 4 Sierra Mike. Kilo Yankee 4 Sierra Mike. Did I copy that correctly? Was that correct?
Yeah, that's correct there. And I don't really have any comments to the net. I just got the tail end of the night here, so I'll let you have at it. Good luck for us.
All right, very good, sir. And once again, on the status page, I saw you coming through EchoLink there. Your audio's a little muddy, so that computer microphone's not doing you very well. You might look at maybe trying to upgrade that or change that out or something along those lines. Anyway, thanks for being here. Kilo Yankee 4 Sierra Mike, Kat, if you get that on the net logger page, and of course she did. She's super sharp. All right, let's see, 39 check-ins tonight. Any other last-minute check-ins? Last round of check-ins before we close the night tonight. Let's get you logged in for the Monday night SkyHubLink system-wide net. This is KE0VH.
Alpha 5, Alpha Hotel.
Mike. November 0, Kilo Mike.
That's Kilowatt 0, Alpha Tango Papa. Zero, Charlie, Juliet, Victor. Kilo, Charlie, 0, Charlie, Juliet, Victor. Checking in. I'll have a question.
Whiskey 4, Mike. W4.
Alpha 5, Alpha Hotel.
Foxtrot 0, Foxtrot Papa India. Kilo Foxtrot 0, Foxtrot Papa India.
All right, let me tell you who I heard that time. Kat, did we get Mike, KD0UFO, checked in there? I don't know that I'm seeing him, and I also missed Kilo Oscar 4 Uniform Bravo, maybe. Anyway, let me tell you who else I heard. Alpha 5, Alpha Hotel, November 0, Kilo Mike, Kilo 0, Alpha Tango Papa. Heard WB5GBI, Tim in Tennessee, good to have you. KC0 Charlie Juliet Victor, Whiskey 4 Mike Juliet Mike, Alpha 5 Alpha Hotel. I got to not hold the paper up in front of the camera there. And let's see, W4MJM, KF0 Foxtrot Papa India. All right, we got you guys in there. One of you said you had a question, though. One of you said you had a question, so if you would come back and let me know who that was. Okay, Kat just lit up. K0ATP, Doug and Parker. Doug, was that you? Go ahead. You have the mic from K0VH.
Jamie, thank you for running that. Always a great job. And as a reformed airline pilot, I really appreciate seeing your heads-up display and your ham shack, Jack, of the 737-800. I flew the 200, 700, 800, 900, 900ER, and the MAX, and all the same in between. But I participated in that several times, and really enjoy what SkyHubLink has done for the ham radio world, and opening up ham radio for all those not only in Colorado, but for all those outside Colorado. So I'll pass it back to Net Control, K0ATP, back to Net Control.
Okay, Doug, K0 ATP. Well, thank you for the kind words. Dude, you flew a 737 and a MAX? Oh, we got to talk. Let's see. I'm going to try to show this on YouTube. I got to move the camera around, but if you're watching YouTube, you see all my my aircraft up there. This camera is not necessarily showing them here. Let me bring up the full page there. And go ahead and transition over, Mr. Director. There we go. But I got all the aircraft up there. Most of them are 737s. There's a 737-900 in there, the Alaska Airlines model. But then Air Force One just arrived today. I should pull that down and show it a little closer. But Air Force One is the middle airplane over there under the Sea Rock City birdhouse. And there's a story with the Sea Rock City birdhouse, but anyway, there you go. So we got to talk, Doug. Send me an email, ke0vh@outlook.com. Let me know your contact information, because you may have just opened up a can of worms there. Very good. Any other check-ins, any last-minute check-ins, or anybody else here before we close the net out tonight? This is K0VH. If you'd like to check in, please call now.
Alpha 0, Alpha India, 0 AI.
Tim, good to hear you tonight, KA0AA. And that last check-in, your audio was really, really low. You want to try again? Kilo, I think it was Kilo Echo 0, November Echo Charlie. Can you confirm or deny that one, sir, from KU0VH?
Echo 0, November Delta Charlie. Echo 0, November Delta Charlie.
All right, very good. Kilo Echo 0, November Delta Charlie. Jason in Monte Vista. Jason, thanks for being there. Tim, good to hear you tonight. Tim, let me ask you this. You are an Anytone owner, and we had this question a little bit earlier. Do you have a code plug or something that has SkyHubLink frequencies in it that's programmed into your Anytone radio? We had a gentleman asking earlier about that and wonder if you might have something that might fit that bill at this time. KA0AA, my good friend. By the way, Tim was the very first amateur radio operator I ever met in Denver, way back in 1986. Can you believe that? Tim, we've been friends all these many years. Welcome to the net. And, do you have anything that might work for that other gentleman? KA0AA, K0VH.
Yes, Jack, I do have several code plugs for the 868 and the 578 tri-banders, so I'd be happy to share those with anybody who needs one. I don't know how to get it to them, but we'll figure something out. I'm not home until tomorrow night. Probably be able to share it by Wednesday, but would be happy to do that.
Yeah, okay, Tim, let's talk some more. Maybe you can email it to me, and then I can make it available on the website or via other email possibilities there. Tim, thank you. And Tim, where are you tonight? I remember you said earlier today, but I don't remember what you said. Where are you tonight, Tim, and how are you coming into the SkyHubLink? KE0AI, KE0VH.
KE0VH, KA0AI. Coming to you through EchoLink tonight, Jack, from Hastings, Nebraska. I'm working in central Nebraska a little bit this week, so I'm coming to you via EchoLink. I brought the 868 with me, and it is programmed for the DMR repeater. This DMR repeater is Hastings, so I couldn't read it, and I had to do this via EchoLink. KE0VH, Jack, to that KA0AI.
Okay, Tim, thank you very much. Well, thanks for being there, and have a safe journey home tomorrow. I'll look for you on the radio. All right, guys. Well, that's going to wrap it up. It's been a fun net tonight. Let's see. We've had how many check-ins? 48 check-ins tonight. Kat, thank you so very much, my good friend Kat down in Pueblo, for spotting and logging, and just all that she does for a lot of us net control operators here on SkyHubLink. It makes it so much easier, without a doubt. I want to thank those of you who have been watching on the YouTube stream. When last I looked, there was like 48 people on. Now there's 33. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. Those of you who are on at this time, go ahead and hit that like button if you wouldn't mind. I would appreciate that. That would be kind of cool. I've got 7 likes on there. Maybe by the time I shut up here, we can get all the rest of those filled in there. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up. I want to thank you for being a part of the SkyHubLink Monday Night Net tonight, and we'll look forward to doing some more things like this. If you have any ideas for some stuff that you'd like for us to cover on the net, we'd be glad to do that as well. Maybe we'll play the name game next week. We'll see how that goes. This has been the SkyHubLink Monday Night System-Wide Net. Thanks again to Skylar, W0SKY, our chief engineer, Jeremy, W0JRL, our system engineer, and Bucky, W0SUN, our newly named Wires X engineer here for the SkyHubLink system. Thanks also to the Rocky Mountain Radio League, the Denver Water Amateur Radio Club, the Denver Radio League, the N2K&K Wesco repeater system, Mark, N0XRX, Randall, AE7RJ, Richard, VE5RH, and all the other systems and operators here on SkyHubLink. Once again, a very special thanks to Kat, W0KPH, for spotting and logging. If you'd like to be on our email list, be sure to go to that SkyHubLink.com website, click on the Join Connect tab for instructions. You can go to my webpage at KE0VH.com, scroll down the page for information on the net, the SkyHubLink, and my newsletter, the KE0VH Ham Shack. So with that, we'll wrap up tonight's net. We're going to stop the YouTube stream here, and we'll return all systems to normal amateur use. Have a great night. We'll look for you next week. Live long and prosper. This is KE0VH.